we go. Fabulous. Love how you do it.
Fabulous.
Fabulous Blue Bombers.
How you doing?
Fabulous.
How you doing?
Fabulous. The Fabulous Blue Bomber Show.
On Shaw TV, brought to you by Moxie's. Now here are your hosts, Kim Babbage and Brody Jackson.
Well, folks, not that a win wasn't enough to make you feel good, but that's Chris Garrett tossing a football around with Johnny Sears. He drove up in that fine buggy, and he wanted to send, we're not allowed to interview injured players, but he did say, like, way off camera, he wanted to send fans a little message.
Yeah, that he's feeling better. He's feeling good that he's alive. He's doing well.
He's doing very, very well. Hey, he's carting around in a golf cart. How bad can life be?
Well, I asked him if he could just, if he's given that by the team, like if he can cruise around in that bad boy. And he said he'd love to be driving down Portage in his little golf cart.
Yeah, that's right.
Ripping around.
That's awesome. Well, folks, this is the Fabulous Blue Bomber Show on Shaw TV. My name is Kim Babbage. This is QX 104 FM's Brody Jackson. Rockin' Rudy Gower is on camera. And wow, the mood around here at Canada Stadium is awfully light after that win.
Yeah, you're feeling a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah,
you know,
bit.
when we came by here last week right after the win, and you could see like you could almost feel like the tension was just gone.
Yeah.
And even today, everyone's walking around with smiles. It's good.
Yeah, well, over the weekend, a lot of the players took to Twitter, and they're still talking about how loud it was here at Canada Stadium in the win over Edmonton. And we wanted to read you a few of those tweets, because if you're not on Twitter and you don't get to see and hear about the players' appreciation for that, you know, you're kind of missing out. So the first one was Kido Pobla. Much love goes out to the best fans in the CFL for coming out and supporting us. Get our first W last night. Feels good to be home, baby.
And Keto had a good game too.
Oh, he had a great game.
He was great.
Yep.
Fun to watch that man, how he plays.
Another guy had an unbelievable game with that Hail Mary, a couple of Hail Mary catches. Chris Matthews said, "Thanks for all the love, WPG. Keep them coming."
Now, Chris Matthews was the one to mention how he was saying to playing college ball down in the States, how we were rivaling that kind of noise.
The noise and stuff, so that's pretty cool. Moving along, Jovan Johnson says, "Bomber faithful, you guys were effing incredible last night. I couldn't hear anyone on the field. So appreciative of you guys." So I love to hear that, because we don't often get that perspective from the field, that it was so loud that Jovan couldn't hear his, fellow players in the secondary.
Well, and that's the thing, when you're in the stands, you know how loud it is, but you never really know how that comes across on the field. We don't get to see that, but we do know that it was incredibly loud, judging by all the people on the weekend who had no voices.
Absolutely. Sveti, our good buddy Sveti, said, "Winnipeg Blue Bombers faithful, you guys were awesome tonight." Well, obviously that would have been Thursday night. Thank you from all of us. Always loud and love looking up, seeing those smiles. Alex Suber had a good one. "Shout out Bomber faithful. Y'all were loud as a word that wouldn't be appropriate on television. Nothing better than playing in front of you guys in Canada Stadium. Swag." Enoch Mwamba says, "Stadium was rocking Thursday night. Love playing home. Almost forgot." No kidding, right?
And it's got to be bigger even for these guys to have been gone for 4 games, 4 weeks, and they didn't get a chance to play in front of their fans. So, and they put on a show for us too. So that was good.
And the final one is from Clarence, Denmark. He said, "I almost forgot how blessed I am to be playing for the Bombers. Thanks for the reminder last night. Best CFL fans." I would have to agree. And a number of people have gone on Twitter, not just players, but a number of people who are sort of impartial observers of the CFL have gone on to say, yeah, you know what? Winnipeg may well have the loudest fan base in the entire CFL, because this is unbelievable.
Well, it's for one thing for us to be loud, and as fans be as loud as we possibly can, but it's got to be such a good feeling as fans too, knowing that the players really appreciate it. And you get this sense of pride when you know that the fans are backing them, that the players love it, and they're appreciating their time as Bombers.
You bet. So we wanted to check in with some of the players to find out exactly what that experience was like beyond what we saw on Twitter in the loudest stadium in the CFL.
He'll take off, and we'll get a first down. And gets a few extra before he ducks out. And that ignites the fans.
Well, the Bombers suddenly on this series.
It's hard to put it into words how loud it was. I mean, when you can literally not hear the person standing right next to you, that justifies how loud it was. I mean, if I was holding a conversation with somebody standing right next to me and we couldn't hear each other, that's how loud it was in the field.
Ball is loose, and Winnipeg's got it. And they'll get a postal first down.
Just imagine yourself in a car with the radio cranked as loud as it could possibly go, not being able to hear yourself think, and that's essentially what it was like here Thursday night.
So how loud was it on Thursday night? Give us a picture for the fans who weren't on the field.
It was just loud enough. Couldn't hear myself think, and that's usually a good thing. He's a guy who, when you watch his stance, very much like...
It's loud out there, you know. In the SEC, you're in there with 70, 80,000.
and it was definitely up there. It was loud.
Chris Matthews said it was as loud as some games that he's experienced with 70 and 80,000 people in college games in the States. Can you make that comparison?
Yeah, when the thing that was good about it is the crowd was in it. I've been in a lot of stadiums where there's been more people, but the crowd was really into the game. They were excited, they were cheering, and they were giving us that extra man kind of, to speak, that lift that you need, and it was a great day.
And it remains 2nd and 7. And it remains loud.
How loud was it?
Well, for us, fortunately on offense, it wasn't all that loud, so I think the crowd did a good job in that aspect. When I was on the sideline, it was definitely loud for Edmonton's offense to operate.
How loud was it? It was very loud. We've got the best fans in the league, and I've always said that. And it's coming from a guy who used to wear green, so I know that these guys here, they're smart fans. They know when to cheer, and they've really carried us through a lot of tough games at the end in the last couple of years, and we sure do appreciate being home.
Could you hear or not hear calls being yelled out?
Well, on offense, like I said, they're smart fans. They're quiet whenever we're out there, but I can tell you on the sideline whenever the defense is on the field, it was a little bit loud. It was a little bit hard to hear the person next to you. Sorry, I'm suffering from a bit of heat stroke. It's hot out here.
Looked like Hall's first contact was around the shoulders.
And how hard does that make it for a quarterback to operate when you've got 30,000 people screaming their brains out?
It's very difficult. I mean, it makes it hard to make adjustments to the line. You got to try and tell your receivers and communicate with the offensive line, and you really can't do that when you're being as loud as we were last week.
Very, very loud. It gets so loud that, it's pretty hard to think sometimes. It's actually just mind-boggling, and it's just it's like, and I can only imagine being the other team, just because I've played in stadiums where there has been loudness, and I feel like this kind of loudness is kind of more brutal because you kind of feel like the stadium shaking, kind of it's really intense. And I know for sure from being on the side of the crowd, it really motivates and gets the guys going. And it is that 13th man on the field that does disturb the next team. So it's a really great experience.
Otherwise, the Bombers are going to win their first of 2012.
And is that the loudest you've ever heard it here?
That's definitely the loudest I've ever heard it. Since I've been here in my career, we had some loud games, but I could still hear the guy next to me on the field, but that was just unreal.
It was really exciting to have the noise and the enthusiasm and the crowd and being here at Winnipeg and in the stadium here. So I was looking forward to that game, and I'm glad we got the win, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
It was very loud. It's something that our crowd do, and we need more of it. It helped us out, and I think there was a 13th man on the field to help us get a victory.
It was like a 13th man out there.
Keep bringing that because that's what we need. That's our 13th man, and as long as that's happening, we're going to continue to win some games here.
Another home game next week for Winnipeg against Montreal, now in the win column. Welcome home, Bombers.
Last year I lived pretty close to this stadium, and I figured I just need something kind of simple just to get me back and forth, something convenient. So I had one of these scooters in college, and it worked out pretty well. So I figured I'd just get me another one, and so here's Samantha. That's what I call her, Samantha. Yeah.
Why do you call her Samantha?
Because it's just a random name that just fit this thing for some reason. So it's the first thing that popped in my mind when I thought about naming my bike. It's convenient enough to just park it freaking anywhere, so I just ride wherever I gotta go, unless I really need to go somewhere and the weather's bad, then I get in the car. But other than that, I'll hop on a trusty bike and go somewhere, try not to get hit. Yes, it's not too bad driving in regular traffic. I do tend to stink when I get to where I gotta go because I'm behind big trucks sometimes. But other than that, it's pretty good. I only got hit once, so and I survived obviously. So that's the only hiccup in this whole process. But other than that, it's pretty smooth actually.
Explain how other vehicles treat you.
Yeah, there's not a lot of respect, which I understand because I can only go so fast. Like this is 50 cc, I'm 230 pounds, so I can only go so fast. But sometimes cars tend to pass me in my lane. So I'm in the lane and they're trying to like force me to the side of my lane so they can pass me. With the wind, I get up to about 80. But against the wind, I'm about 50, 55 at the most. But regularly I go about 55, 60, so.
That's not too bad.
Not too bad. It goes with the traffic for the most part. I don't see it as a dangerous thing to do on a daily basis. Cars notice you for the most part. You know, it's not like they don't see me and they just cut me off and everything, so it's not too much of a big deal. I like to think that that's blue, not purple. And a lot of people say purple for some reason. Maybe it's different in Canada, but in in America, this is blue. Yeah.
One Minute With, brought to you by Winnipeg U Drive and Payless Car Rental.
If you're talking Hollywood endings, that's probably exactly what you saw from the last game. Now, Jake Thomas, you picked up, or you made that huge play for Javon to pick up the ball. All because of you, there was a win at the end of the game.
I wouldn't say it was all because of me, but luckily I was in there and made the best of my opportunity, and Javon got on the ball quick, and it's great to get a win for the team.
There it's punched out, knees are off the ground, no question. Bomber football.
And how do you feel about starting your first game, and then that's kind of how it ended out?
It was surreal just from the beginning, coming out of the tunnel and hearing 30,000 people just going nuts. It's the loudest stadium I've ever played in, and capped it off that way. It was just very special.
Canadian boy, East Coaster. Now you're from Douglas, New Brunswick?
Yeah, just outside of Fredericton.
But you went to school at Acadia, and your GPA was ridiculous.
Yeah, I was around a 3.5 for my full career, and my last 2 years was around a 3.65. I was a two-time academic All-Canadian, so did all right in school.
Yeah, no doubt. So if you had to get rid of football, what would you be doing?
I'd probably try to open up my own gym either in New Brunswick or Nova Scotia and target like 13 to 18-year-old young athletes.
Could you work me out? Like I'd be set. I'd be a lot better than this.
Yeah, you'd be looking good.
Okay, because I need to look a lot better than this. And speaking of looking like this, actually I was trying to find some pictures of you, and I'm gonna just kind of show you a brief one of yourself.
Yeah, that was. I said I wouldn't cut my hair or shave my face, so we won a conference championship one year.
How did you get your beard like that, though? Like, I've been working on mine for a while. I need some tips on how to look like that.
You just don't care about your personal appearance.
And if anybody was to wiki you, this is kind of the last thing. You don't have a Wikipedia up there. We need to get somebody to get you a wiki page.
Any fan, feel free to make me one.
Because right now that Jake Thomas is up there, he's the guy from Disney, and he's been there for a while.
I guess hopefully one day I can become more famous than him.
What Disney character would you be if you could be one?
I guess I got to go with the genie. The guys were saying, I asked the guys and they said go with the genie.
I like it. Make them dreams come true. Last question, final one for you. You're a huge gamer. I give you the option. For a week, you can go without video games or showering. What would you choose?
I'd definitely go without video games.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that because I'm standing next to you.
Thank you.
Good luck on the next game, buddy.
Thank you.
Okay. That was awesome.
You've been photobombed.
All right, so get those pictures into us on Twitter, Facebook, via email, and it's actually really simple. All you got to do is just grab your phone and then take a picture and then send it right after, and you're automatically entered.
Yeah, that's right. And you could win a Moxie's gift card, and who doesn't want to go have a meal at Moxie's? It's awesome. So we've got some great submissions this week. The first one was submitted by Renelle Reed, and this was taken on the ride home from the the home opener last week. These are her two sons sacked right out in the back seat.
I'm envious of their situation. They get to crash. They got a driver for them. I need this after every single Bombers game, actually.
For a different reason, though, probably. They were just cheered out, I would think.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I doubt at that age they'd be doing the same thing that I was doing at halftime.
Probably not. They were not beveraged out.
We're good, streaky! Yes!
All right, next picture is submitted by Jill Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, this is truly a photo bomb. This is Marcellus Bowman, Jill Wilson's son and a friend, and look at Kenny Maynor photobombing in the background. This is what a photobomb actually is.
And nobody's prouder in that moment than Kenny Maynard
I know,
is, because
right?
you want to bomb people in the photos. You
it.
want to get right behind there.
That's fantastic. And so our final submission this week is from Blue Bombers superfan David Leach. Now, David is at every single practice. There's literally not a day that goes by that you don't see him at Canada Stadium watching the team play, and he's become good friends with the quarterbacks. And actually, if you follow him on Twitter or on Instagram, you'll see that he posts a ton of pictures that he takes with these guys, and he does some creative photo editing. And I really love this one where he's removed all the color except the blue. I think that's super awesome.
Well, the guy's a big fan, and the coolest thing about it is being a dedicated fan, you get to get all these fun pictures that nobody else could get.
Well, he's got the commitment. He's here every day. He should. I love, though, he actually showed me he ran over his iPhone with his wheelchair the other day. It's still working, and he also has a BlackBerry. He's dual deviced, I guess you could say.
And he's got the Zach Morris Saved by the Bell phone somewhere back there, too.
Hello, Mr. Belly. This is Mr. Testaverde. What? What's wrong with me? Well, you can hear what's wrong with me. I've got laryngitis, a horrible cough, post-nasal drip.
Can't take pictures with it. No, it's huge.
All right. So Rudy picks the winner every week, and this week's photobomb winner, as picked by Rockin' Rudy Gower, he said.
That'd be Kenny Maynard. Kenny Maynard's photobomb picture. I don't know who took it, but it was a great picture, and it is truly the meaning of photobombed.
All right, thank you, Rockin' Rudy Gower. Jill Wilson is our winner this week, folks. Make sure you get your photos in at FBBSWPG. You can send them to us on our Facebook page. Just search Fabulous Blue Bomber Show, or you can email them to us, fabulousbluebombershow@shaw.ca.
The Fabulous Blue Bomber Show steps up to the post. And at the 40, at the 30, at the 20, at the 10, it's a photo finish. That's your Assiniboia Downs Workhorse of the Week.
So last week's Workhorse of the Week, Chad Simpson, went ahead and had another amazing game, and I actually happened to be lucky enough to be standing in the north end when you scored your touchdown. Can you recreate what you did on the field after you scored there?
Nah, I might get fined for it if I create.
Really?
They didn't catch it, so I ain't gonna do it again. They can catch it this time.
Break out of shotgun with Simpson in behind. Corey Watson to block. Simpson, touchdown.
Well, you fired up the fans, that is for sure. So you would be deserving of another Workhorse of the Week, but as we know, you can't win twice, and it's your decision as to who gets it this week. So who have you picked to win this week's Workhorse?
This guy right here.
Alex Brink.
You know him.
Well, if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have the ball in your hands to begin with, right?
Exactly. If it wasn't for him, I mean, just orchestrating our offense like that, I mean, I don't think we would have had a chance, you know? So, I mean, I figured he deserved this award.
All right, so here is your Workhorse of the Week, your trophy. You get the horse head, and you get your gift card to Moxie's. So, Alex, how do you feel about being named by your teammate this week?
Well, it's obviously special when you have a teammate feel that way about you. Chad certainly was very deserving of the award last week and probably this week as well. So I appreciate this, Chad. That means a lot.
So your job will be to pick next week's winner. So we'll pull you over next week and ask who you, I guess after the bye week, and find out who will have deserved it in your mind. But before we go, you have an opportunity now to give a shout out to whoever you'd like. It's sort of like your Oscar acceptance speech. You can say hi to whoever you'd like, so go ahead.
I want to give a shout out to my man David Leach over there. Can we get him on camera? Right there in the wheelchair. Dave, wave for the Dave. Wave to the camera. Yeah.
Oh, swag now.
Yeah.
Swag.
He's the real workhorse of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Awesome. That's fantastic. All right, Alex Brink, Workhorse of the Week. Chad Simpson, thank you for the award, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks.
The Workhorse of the Week is brought to you by Assiniboia Downs. Open year-round for horse racing, gaming, and dining. Go to asdowns.com for more information.
It's time now for the Rules Clinic.
All right, I'm Jovan Johnson, defensive back, here with Corey Watson, a wide receiver. Today we're going to explain what a horse collar tackle is on the Rules Clinic. The definition of a horse collar tackle is when the defensive player goes to make a tackle and he grabs the offensive player anywhere around the nameplate. So to see his nameplate go down, that's the definition of a horse collar tackle. If a referee sees you grab the shoulder pad and pull, they won't call it. But if anywhere in the nameplate, if you grab and pull down, that's the definition of a horse collar tackle.
First game, he returned one for a touchdown. There's a horse collar tackle, but
Well, horse calling often happens when a receiver gets a ball in the flat and he tries to knife upfield and avoid the sidelines, and the defender is chasing. So to demonstrate, ball is caught, I'm trying to go upfield, and defender tries to recover, and that's when it often happens.
that's called desperation from Dustin Doe. If this is not a horse collar tackle, this might be a touchdown BC Lions.
The horse collar is pretty much a pretty simple rule. The penalty for it is a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down for the offense. And as a defender, you try to avoid it as much as possible. And as an offensive player, you can't really avoid it. It just kind of happens. So there you go.
We are going to pack this baby on Friday night. Montreal Alouettes right here, game day. I'm so ready.
It's funny if people knew the shenanigans that happened right before the camera was rolling. This just gets off the rails here, right at the Fabulous Blue Bomber Show. But yes, very loud coming up this Friday. I'm going to bring the cowbells this week that I forgot to bring last week, so we will make it just slightly louder. And hopefully we can actually make it louder for the whole game.
Well, I think it's possible if it was as loud as it was last time without your two cowbells. That's two more cowbells.
And Rudy had a very a great question. What is the decibel level of the cowbell? What's the scale again, Rudy?
Cowbellians?
The Cowbellian scale. How many decibels on the Cowbellian scale?
Now, I wasn't exactly that good in science or in school, but I don't believe you can register something as a Cowbellian.
Well, you know what? Oh, Rudy has a...
It was invented by Victor Cowbellian. He's a Russian cow herder, actually. And so, yeah, it goes on.
I'm going to wiki this later, let me tell you that much.
There's Chris Garrett again, just wandering around, looking happy, living life. All right. We do have to get to our weekly giveaway. As always, we are giving away a gift card from the Bomber store. Thank you to Alan, Maria, and the whole crew working down there. They are good people and we love them. So this week's trivia question, if you would like to enter, you can submit your answer on Twitter, you can submit it on Facebook, you can email it to us, or you can call us at 480-3500. And as always, leave your email address, your phone number, and your name, or what have you, so we can get a hold of you if you've won. And this week's question is...
Well, we saw the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in a tug-of-war. Who did they lose against?
Yes. Who beat them? That's what we want to know. There was a great answer last week. So first of all, the question last week was, what's Buck's dog's name? And it's a bunch of people answered Hunt, but it's Hutch. Hutch, that's Buck's dog's name. So anyone who answered Hunt, I'm sorry, you did not win. But there was a great response on Twitter. Kyle Warnica answered, I don't know Buck's dog's name, but I'm pretty sure Doug Brown's dog is Dog Brown. I love that. I love that. And Doug Brown actually favored that tweet. So Doug Brown likes it too.
Doug's going to know what he's going to name his dog afterwards. Because if somebody else does it in tribute to Doug that's a player, it'd be a little strange. Fan, that would be okay.
Yeah,
but as another player.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. So we know what Kyle's naming his next dog, is what we're saying.
He's already got it set. Maybe actually he'll name his kid that.
Who knows? Perhaps. All right, folks. Normally this is the time in the show when we're done, but as you might have noticed, we haven't had a musical moment with Jay yet. We are going to bring you the Trough song once again by popular demand. So many people wanted to watch that again, and I got to give Jay credit once again because I love it, and I haven't stopped singing it since I first heard it. It's just a fantastic song. I kind of hope it goes viral. So please share this with your friends because we want everyone to see Jay's Trough song. So once again, here it is, and make sure you're here on Friday as the Bombers play the Alouettes. We want to bring them another win.
This song makes me have to pee.
A musical moment with Jay.
Peed in you 1,000 times, and you've never let me down now, Trough. You've been a friend and a confidant, even though the only golden is the showers you take during each halftime break. You're a pal and a saint. Yeah, it's true what they say about heroes. They're made of steel. I'll admit you led to more than a few inadvertent wiener glances and Trough. Please don't think I put the blame on you. It's only human to be curious, and now that you're leaving in 2013, I've only got 1 year left to find another favorite place to be. Find another favorite place to be. Find another favorite place to be. Find another favorite place to be.
The Fabulous Blue Bombers Show on Shaw TV. To see past episodes or contact the show, visit us online at shaw.ca/FBBS. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or email us at fabulousbluebombershow@shaw.ca.
He's like, I don't know if I'm smiling, if I'm laughing, if I'm crying. I don't know what I'm doing, the little guy there. Wait, you gotta get Mariah Carey's high-pitched squealing in. Actually, wait, I'm gonna do an impersonation of her right now. Can't hear it, right? Dogs can.
Owner ordered $16 worth of food, and I was like, where's my change? They were like, you don't get no change for it. So
you should have ordered more.
I didn't know that. I thought.
Alouette.
Alouette.
Facebook page, or you can send them to us at fabulousbluebombershow@shaw.ca. Should we do that again? And I don't. If you would like to try to win a gift certificate to their gift card, rather. Can we start that again?
Which one?
I guess we can just grab anybody.
In-depth interview we got going on here.
Yeah. I can
Well, he's Facebooking. He's Facebooking right now. Don't look.
Something on my head?
No Jason Vega.
Oh, yes.
Good talk. That right there, Emmy worthy.
Here we go.
Yeah.
They are warriors, standing in the theater of battle. Their bodies are their weapons, honed by discipline, poised for contest, poised for victory. But invincibility lies not in attack. Invincibility lies in defense. A warrior would be nothing without his armor. His armor protects him. Yet, not only his body, the armor protects his heart. The armor protects his spirit. Whether forged for his forefathers or his allies of today, the armor assures defense so that the warrior is free to win the day. They are warriors, fighting for their team, fighting for their fans, fighting for their honor. Every warrior needs his armor, his shield, and on that shield, his banner. Presenting the new logo of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Celebrating our proud past, looking forward to our bright future.